What's up, guys? Well, tonight is the night. It's Monday night. It is November 6th, 2021. This is the night of UFC 268 and the night of Canelo versus Caleb Plant. All right, last week was kind of rough for you, boy. Went over 3. But I'm feeling pretty confident about tonight. I got some good plays, some good odds, and I want to let you guys know what I'm doing. All right. This video is long overdue. It is 4:15 p.m. Central Time in States as I do this video, so fight time is not far away. All right. I have made several plays this weekend. Really over 3 fights. All right. With the UFC, I have made plays on the Justin Gaethje Michael Chandler fight. I have made plays with the Usman Covington fight. And finally with Canelo versus Caleb Plant. Alright, now let's start off with the Justin Gaethje Michael Chandler fight. Alright, now I knew about this fight, but I really was not really thinking about it, really thinking about betting it, because I was thinking about, really about who would win the fight, and I would not and will not touch that, because either of these guys could win this fight. All right, so it wasn't about picking the winner, but I don't know if it was Wednesday or Thursday night. I just got the thought of I think I was trying to build a parlay or something, and I was like, you know what? Let me look at what the odds are on the Gaethje Chandler fight not going the distance. All right. Now on Bovada, when I got in on it, I believe it was a minus 275. Let me see. Right now it is a minus 300. All right, so money has come in on that. All right. Now to be honest, I still think that's a deal. All right. I still think that that is a deal. As far as I'm concerned, this should probably be minus 500 at the lowest. If it was a minus 700 or a minus 1,000, I would understand. All right, so minus 300 in my opinion. If you want to take that line and stick it in the parlay with something you believe will hit, do it. A nice 2-teamer. I think that would be a nice play to do. Why do I say this? And I was thinking about it. I kind of know these guys' careers, a bit. And I know they are action fighters. Lots of fights get stopped. So I said, let me take a look at their records and and see, right? So let me pull out my little sheet here. I did this days ago, if I can remember exactly what I have here. All right. Justin Gaethje, 23 of his 25 fights have not gone the distance. All right, either he got finished or his opponent got finished. All right. Michael Chandler, 23 of his 28 fights have not gone the distance. All right. Either he got finished or his opponent got finished. All right. All right. For Gaethje, that comes out to 92% of his fights not going the distance. For Michael Chandler, that's 82% of his fights not going the distance. All right. Combined, that's 87%. These guys fight not going the distance. All right. And on top of that, in all of their losses, Justin Gaethje has 3 losses. I think he's been knocked out twice, submitted once. He's been stopped in all 3 of his losses. Michael Chandler has 6 losses. I believe he has been knocked out, I think, 4 times and submitted twice, I believe. So in their losses, both of them have been stopped each time. All right. So, and then on top of that, I saw one of those little short videos on YouTube. Michael Chandler from a press conference saying that Justin Gaethje was going out in one round, in the first round. So if he with his mindset of going out there to finish this guy in the first round, either he will get it done or he will get caught with some shit and he will go out. All right. Justin Gaethje is favored to win this fight at a minus 210, I believe. Yes, currently. Michael Chandler is a plus 170. Like I said, I would not dare pick the winner, but I fully expect this fight to not go the distance. Currently a minus 300. I got it at minus 275. Also, I have played this fight. I have put a little money, did a little small parlay on this fight to not go past the first round. All right, at a plus 125. I think currently it is a plus 130 on Bovada. All right, this is why I'm looking at these odds at. All right. Also, I played the under in this fight at a minus 110. Um, Under 1.5 rounds. As opposed to the over 1.5 rounds is a minus 120. I think minus 110 is a could be a bit of a gold mine in my opinion. I played it in a single play with a decent size amount of money. All right. I'm expecting basically the Fedor Tim Johnson fight the way I broke it down. These guys are not going to waste time. I don't think. I think they're going to go at each other, and somebody I think will possibly get stopped in the first round. It is a very good chance, and then even if not playing the under, you will still be covered for half of the first half of the second round. All right, so some good plays and good opportunities in that fight, I do believe. All right, two action fighters. Um, I don't see these guys taking the back step. I think they both know that the other ones are going for blood, so they better try to get the finish. And it's gonna be fireworks, guys. So I'm looking very forward to this fight. Actually, looking forward to this UFC card overall. Well, at least the main card. I would personally be watching most of this until the Canelo fight because that undercard is trash. All right, so yes, I will be watching UFC 268 heavily tonight. All right, for Canelo. So some good opportunities there. All right. I will talk about the plays that I made at the end of the video, but that's what I looked at in that fight. All right. Now, the main event, Usman and Covington. Let me see if I can pull up those odds right now. All right. Now, I looked at the first fight. Let me go to it right now, pulling it up. I looked at the first fight probably maybe 3 weeks ago. All right, that's my first time seeing the first fight. All right, I heard it was a war, a bit of a back and forth. Now, when watching this fight and handicapping this fight, breaking down what happened and what could happen in this fight. When I first saw the odds for the fight tonight, Usman I think was a minus 310 favorite. Um, I get him being, considered probably pound for pound the best. Very difficult to beat. If I had to pick one of these guys to win this fight, I would say Usman would win the fight. Um, but after I saw the fight, I think that these odds are not correct in my opinion. Um, I think the odds should be a bit closer. I saw Covington giving Usman a real fight. A tough fight. Um, what I saw in that first fight, I saw a competitive fight. I thought the fight was pretty close, pretty even. Going to the fourth and the fifth. I think if I remember correctly, Usman won the fourth, and of course he was winning the fifth before the fight was stopped. Also that fight really could have continued. I think Covington could have made it to the end of the fight. When the ref stopped the fight, Covington was aware. He was protesting the stoppage. He was not unconscious. He was not, on the ground covered up and just taking a breather because he was beat up so bad. He got up, he protested, and that showed me the toughness of Covington. And Usman took hella shots in that fight, showed a great chin. All right. So the thing that really stood out to me with these two was how competitive the fight was, and the toughness of these guys. So really, initially I was thinking about putting Usman in a parlay, because I think that he would win this fight, but seeing how competitive it was, at a minus 300, I don't agree. I don't like that line. If it was, like a minus, say 150 or so, if it was closer odds, something more favorable, that'd be more tempting. But really, the play or the plays in this fight, I'm playing this fight based on these guys' toughness, man. Now, I know in the first fight, it was a lot of emotion. They wanted to basically beat each other up. It was not a well-disciplined fight, in my opinion. It was, lots of, punching and kicking, all right? So they may be a little bit more measured tonight, maybe, you know. But I am playing this fight based off these guys' toughness. Uh, I initially played the under in this fight. I thought was the over, excuse me. I played the over in this fight, which was at a 2.5 rounds. On my bookie, it was like a minus one, maybe like minus 125, minus 135. It was something that was real low and real favorable in my opinion. And unfortunately, I parlayed that with Clarissa Shields, and I lost out on it because my bookie has raised the over under to 3.5 rounds. All right, I thought that 2.5 rounds was great. Basically these both of these guys have to survive until the halfway point of the fight. With the toughness that they showed in the first fight, I thought that was gold. Um, let's see. Currently, I am on. Let's see. I'm on Bovada right now. They actually gave options early in the week, and they still have them. Um, let's see. Wow. Um, well, money has come in big time, I believe, because actually you can play the over 1.5 rounds at a minus 400. All right, over 2.5 rounds is a minus 220. Yeah, I think it was a lot lower than that when I first saw it. It might have been like a minus 185 or so. All right. Now the over 3.5 rounds is a minus 150. I'm not comfortable with going over 3.5 rounds. That's a full 3 rounds and halfway through the fourth round. They have to go past halfway through the fourth round. You know, I am more comfortable with a over 2.5 rounds if you want to play over under in this fight. All right. But what I actually played was the fight to complete 2 full rounds. Currently, it is a minus 300. I think I got in on it at a little better line. Let's see. Yes, I got a minus 250 on it when it was initially released. All right, so money has come in on that. With the toughness that these guys showed in that fight and throughout their careers. Usman, I believe, was stopped early, very early in his career, but that was a long time ago. All right, and Covington was stopped, I believe, early in his UFC career, maybe like in the first round. But both of those things happened many years ago. Both of these guys are tough at the top of their game, and for them to go at least 2 rounds or 2.5 rounds, I think is very golden, and that should hit. You know, I would be a bit shocked and surprised if either guy went out, before the 2.5 rounds. So I have money on the fight going a full 2 rounds, at a minus 300, and I don't think I played the the over. No, I didn't because I was comfortable with just playing the fight completes 2 full rounds at a minus 250. I don't think it was a big difference between that and the over 2.5 rounds, which currently is at a minus 220. So I paid, I gave a little bit more, paid a little bit higher price to just go with the full 2 rounds instead of 2.5 rounds. So I'm banking on these guys' toughness and durability to hit on the fight completing 2 full rounds. All right. I think either guy could win. If I had to pick, I would pick Usman. But I think the fight is a lot closer than Usman being a minus 300 and Covington being a plus 235. That first fight was competitive in my opinion. It was. That's a fact. All right. Now, what next here? All right. Now the Canelo Caleb Plant fight. All right. Okay. Whew. All right. Now, this may be a bit of a shocker, what I'm about to say, but I want you to understand what I'm saying. All right. Um, I am not, I understand Canelo being the favorite. He is supposed to win as my number one pound for pound. He is the premier fighter in the sport. You know, um, but I am betting against him in this fight. All right. That's not saying that Caleb Plant will win the fight. That's not what I'm saying. But there are reasons why I have put money on Caleb to win the fight. But really, my primary play in this fight is the fight to go the distance. All right. Let me go to the odds on this fight on Bovada. All right. Let's see. Let me get to it here. All right, because I believe this is the play of the weekend. I think the odds makers got it wrong. All right. I've been drooling over this line, for hell, weeks. It was just sitting there all golden. All right, I'm gonna see what it is on Bovada right now. For the fight to go the distance on Bovada is a plus 175. All right. The odds makers are expecting Canelo to stop Caleb Plant. He is favored to do so at a minus 210. Getting Canelo at decision on Bovada is a plus 240. That's a damn good line if you believe Canelo will win this fight by decision. I fully expect this fight to go to a decision. If he stopped Caleb Plant, I would be a bit surprised. All right, and I definitely don't think Caleb Plant is stopping Canelo. I've never seen Canelo dropped. The only times I've seen him rocked was the first time I ever saw him when he was 18 against brother Cotto, and after he had basically emptied the gas tank on Golovkin and Golovkin hit him flush. All right, the only two times I saw him rocking, I have not seen him get dropped. All right, Caleb Plant is not a power puncher. I think 12 KOs out of 21 victories. If he stopped Canelo, it would be one of the most shocking things I've ever seen in sports. All right, forget boxing. All right, um, the only way Canelo gets stopped, in my opinion, is if he stubs his toe, if he tears a muscle, his knee goes out. If he throws a punch like Burdett, I believe is his name, against Donaire, and his back goes out. All right, that's the only way I see Canelo not finishing this fight. All right. Okay. Now, let's see what that line is on my bookie currently. All right. Let me go to boxing. All right, and we will see. Because for the longest it was a plus 170. All right. Now let's see what it is now. Waiting for it to load. Like I said, plus 175 on Bovada. A very good line in my opinion for this fight to go the distance. Let's see. Boy, it is very slow. Okay, here we go. All right, it is a plus 160 now for the fight to go the distance. So some money has come in on that on my bookie, as opposed to Bovada, which has actually raised those odds. Because I played it at a plus 160 on Bovada. Went in pretty heavily on that line. All right, the reason I played it on Bovada is because I don't know if it's because I'm new on my bookie, or if they just have low minimums. Maybe because I'm new, but they were only allowing me to put like $100 on that, and I wanted to play way more than $100 on on this fight going the distance. All right, like I said, I think that is the play of the weekend. All right, I think they got it wrong. All right, now why do I think this fight goes the distance? Okay, of course I don't feel that Caleb Plant will stop Canelo. Like I said, if that happened, that would be one of the most shocking things I've ever seen in sports. Like I said, if Canelo does not, make it to the finish line, it's because he suffered an injury in the fight. All right. Now with Caleb Plant, Caleb Plant is Of course, he is a naturally bigger guy than Canelo, a natural 168 pounder. Now I know Canelo has been stopping some bigger guys, but Caleb Plant is a mover. He can move around the ring all night. So that makes him, a bit harder to hit, less hittable. He should be taking less damage than these other guys that got stopped in the distance by Canelo, these bigger guys. All right. So his legs, being a mover, being, a bit more difficult to hit if he fights the right fight, the smart fight. You know, not giving Canelo, all the opportunities in the world to land, huge power punches and knockout punches against him. All right. Now, let's go to Canelo's resume. All right. Um, and I'm just gonna look at guys that he has fought ever since he moved up to 168 and fighting big guys. All right. Let's talk about the guys that he has stopped. All right. Let's see. Rocky Fielding, 168 and up. All right. So Fielding, Kovalev, Yildirim, which really we should not even count because the guy's not even in his league. All right. Really, I'm not even going to count Yildirim. All right. So Fielding, Kovalev, and Billy Joe. That's three. Let's see who made it to the finish line with him. Calum Smith. Calum Smith did. All right. So he finished three, and one made it to the finish line. Really, Calum Smith should have been that should have been a stoppage. If I was in his corner, if I was his trainer, I would have stopped that fight. Because he got beat up badly in that fight. It was a one-sided fight. All right. All right, but let's break down how he got these stoppages. All right, Rocky Fielding, all right, had a huge height advantage, size difference over Canelo. All right, but instead of using his size and his reach and his length, his British pride kicked in. Once he got hit flush, he was like, all right, you want to go mano y mano, let's go mano y mano. He basically went in the pocket with Canelo, bent down, and Canelo, one of the hardest hitters in the sport, just broke him down to the body. And it's not like Fielding was unconscious when he got stopped. He just kept getting stopped by body shots, kept going down to one knee, and again, that was him giving up his height and his reach. All right, staying in the pocket with Canelo. All right, skipping over Danny Jacobs, there was a 160 fight. All right, Sergey Kovalev. All right, this fight went to the 11th round. All right, Sergey Kovalev fought Canelo better than anybody in recent memory. All right, a 175 pounder, a legend at 175. All right, a future Hall of Famer. All right, Sergey was actually using his size. He was actually moving around the ring, using his size, using his length, his jab, keeping Canelo outside. Now, as I pointed out in my post-fight video, what got Kovalev knocked out was he went to the well one too many times. Whenever he would get in close to Canelo, if Canelo closed distance on him, he would go for the clinch on Canelo, but he was poorly protected up to the head when he would go in for the clinch. And every time he dove in awkwardly. His head was fully exposed. All right. So after doing that over the course of the entire fight, in the 11th round, Canelo, to his credit, is a smart fighter, high IQ. He will capitalize off your openings and mistakes. And that's what he did. When he sensed Kovalev was coming in to tie up, he was unprotected to the head, hit him to the head. A few seconds later, he was knocked out cold. All right. So really, that was Kovalev's fault. All right. If he had not gone to the well one too many times, if he had protected his head, better than he did, he probably could have made it to the end of the fight, and would maybe have had a chance at getting a decision in the fight or a draw. All right. Now, Calum Smith, of course, he just got beat up, man. He just, he does not move like Caleb Plant. He had the size advantage, but was he moving around like? Can he move like Caleb Plant, or did he move like Caleb Plant? No. All right, and he just got battered. But even though he didn't move like Caleb Plant, he made it to the finish line. All right, a bit of a moral victory because, like I said, I would have stopped the fight. All right, if I was the ref or in his corner, I would have thrown the towel. All right, or stopped it after a round. All right, when he was in the corner. All right, like I said, Yildirim, we're not even counting that because we knew what was happening, not even in Canelo's league. All right. Now Billy Joe, you know, this was probably the best mover that Canelo fought ever since Lara was Billy Joe. All right. But ever since the David Lemieux fight, ever since that he has moved up to 168, Billy Joe has not been the same mover that he was at middleweight when he fought David Lemieux. That's the fight that he should have fought. Billy Joe at times he did move in the fight. And Canelo made the fight a bit harder than I thought he had to. And he could do the same thing tonight. And I'm banking up that he will make the fight a bit harder than it has to be. Because as I've said in the past, if you're fighting a mover, don't move with him. Do not move with the mover. And you know, if Canelo, as he probably should do tonight, if he would have stayed in the middle of the ring against Billy Joe, I think he could have made it a faster fight, than what it was. All right. While Billy Joe was out moving around, early in the fight, staying on the outside, moving around the ring, just stay in the middle of the ring, man. The ref will tell Billy Joe or Caleb Plant that he needs to engage. He has to fight. The ref is not going to make Canelo go chase the guy. So but to my kind of surprise, Canelo, he was not following around like he did Lara, but he has a more measured approach. Following the guys around the ring, cutting off the ring. He's more measured and disciplined with his footwork nowadays when it comes to movers. So I will give him that. But I am hoping if he does the same thing against Caleb Plant, that with that strategy, Caleb Plant can make it to the finish line in this fight. Um, but again, if Canelo is like, what, I'm not following you around the ring all night tonight, I'm standing right here, you got to come fight me. You know, then I think the fight could get a bit difficult for Caleb Plant, and then he could get opened up a little bit more to being stopped. Maybe stay in the ring, in the middle of the ring for a little bit, and then move outside. And then eventually have to come back in. But if Canelo is if he falls into the trap of moving around the ring all night against Caleb Plant, I feel very comfortable that this fight will go 8-4-12. Neither guy has ever been stopped in their careers. So I think that is the play of the weekend, guys, for this fight to go the distance. All right. Um, and Billy Joe, the reason he got stopped is basically stupidity and arrogance. All right. Even with him not moving around the ring all night, and kind of taking more chances, he had some success in this fight. He was in the fight. Now he wasn't winning the fight in my opinion, but he had success and he was in the fight. All right. Now his downfall was, he was in the ring with the best fighter in the world, and he thought that it was okay to bend over, basically bend over, bend down, head exposed, hands not up, and Canelo knew that he was about to do it. He picked up on his tendencies, and he had the uppercut coming while Billy Joe was leaning down with his head exposed, all right, and he got hit flush and his face got broke, all right. That's what happened. So that was on Billy Joe, man. Billy Joe and Kovalev, they both got stopped because they put their head dipped down right to Canelo with their heads exposed, hands not up. I'm hoping Caleb Plant is not foolish enough to do that. All right. Caleb Plant is I think a bit more defensive. Um, he is about hitting and not getting hit. I would not think that he would do such a thing, man. So I'm banking on his defense, his size, his movement. Staying on the outside against Canelo, possibly being Canelo's kryptonite. With the movement. Canelo does not move like a Caleb Plant or Arizona Lara. He does not move around the ring like that. So you know, that's why I'm giving Caleb Plant a slight chance in this fight. A slight chance to shock the world, to stick and move, try to hit and not get hit. But when you're fighting Canelo, you cannot head hunt, man. because the guy's very good with his head. It'd be better off going at his shoulders, his chest, his stomach, you know, um, hell, his arms, than trying to aim for his head. He will counter the hell out of you and hurt you. All right, so my plays tonight, guys. Now that I have, kind of talked about it, broke it down a bit, and kind of talking about why I'm playing things the way that I am. All right, my plays for tonight. All right, let me pull them up. All right, I have two team parlays. All right. Uh, let's see, and this is a kind of a high odds, kind of a parlay. All right, to win big money. All right, now I was ballsy. I played the Gaethje Michael Chandler fight to not complete a full round at a plus 125. All right. I parlayed that with the Canelo Caleb Plant fight going distance at a plus 175. All right. Let's see. Let me open it up. See if I can give you more details on the odds that I got. All right. That came out to a plus 519. All right. Um, you know, you don't have to, place a huge wager to make a little money on that. All right. I'm feeling very confident about the Gaethje Chandler fight not going to past the first round. All right, but even if it does, I have another play on that fight not going the distance. All right, but I at a plus 125. They're giving you good odds for taking the risk on the fight not going past first round. So I thought I would take that and play it with the play of the week. For a nice payday. All right, for not a huge wager. All right. Now, I have also done a two-team parlay um, with the Usman Covington fight, completing 2 full rounds at a minus 250. Banking on these guys' toughness. I parlayed that with the Gaethje Chandler fight, not going the distance at a minus 275. All right, that should be a very winnable parlay in my opinion at a minus 110. All right, minus 110 for two things that I think are very likely to happen. All right, Usman Covington to complete 2 full rounds, and for the Gaethje Chandler fight to not go the distance. All right, at a minus 275, that parlay comes up to a minus 110. All right, a decent sized wager on that. All right, for a nice payday. All right, now let's see what next. All right. And finally, I put a nice, decent sized wager on the Canelo Caleb Plant fight to go the distance at a plus. I got a plus 160. Like I said, currently you can get it at a plus 175 on Bovada. That's better than what's on my bookie currently, which is a plus 160, like I played. But plus 175 for this fight to go the distance, I think the odds makers messed up. They think Canelo's gonna stop Caleb Plant. They thinking that Canelo's preeminent fighter in the sport. He has all this power. This is Caleb Plant. First big step up to this major level. They thinking that Canelo's gonna overwhelm him. I disagree. I disagree. I also let me point this out too while I'm thinking about it. Um, the over under in this fight. Let's see. Where is it now? All right. Okay, the highest they have it is 9.5 rounds at a minus 110. That is the highest over that you can do with 9.5 rounds. At one point during the week, that was even. All right, I was like, wow, that is, that was a hell of a line. All right, but now is it a minus 110 instead of being even money? All right. So I have made those plays. Also, let's see. On my bookie, let's see. Let's see. All right. I have also put a little money on the draw. In the Plant Canelo fight. All right. I got in on it at a plus 2200. Let me see what it is on Bovada right now. It is plus 2200 on Bovada. On my bookie, let's see, it is a plus 2200 still. All right. Now I have done that because let me take a look at these odds real quick. Um, yeah, I have done that because this is a fight that could have controversy, guys. You have to take that into account. When I decide to play the draw, I think if a fight is going to a decision, I think about is there a possibility of of a draw. Think about Canelo going. This is a PBC Showtime event. You got TGB Promotions involved in the event. You know, could there be fishy scoring? If this fight goes to a decision, could there be a screw job in this fight? You got to think about these things, guys. Um, this is a fight where I could see, if it is slightly competitive, or competitive, I could see it being a draw and then one card for Canelo, one for Caleb Plant. I could see that happening. Like I said, with Canelo going over to PBC Showtime, I kind of got a feeling if it goes to a decision, and if it is not a clear, wide victory, that something fishy could happen. And hell, even if it is a clear, wide victory, something fishy could happen. All right, so you got to think about these things, guys. And at a plus 2200, that is not you don't have to place a big time wager to make some money. All right. Now, like I said, I was betting against Canelo again in this fight. Put a little money on Caleb Plant by decision simply because the odds were too good. All right, like I said, with him going over to PBC Showtime, if this fight is close, or hell, it could not be close. Could there be some fishy things on the scorecards? With Canelo going over, could he be set up for a screw job? All right, because some people could definitely benefit off Caleb Plant getting a decision, becoming undisputed champion. All right, whether that be PBC, Showtime, whether it be TGB, whether it be gamblers or whatever. So I'm not saying there's collusion going on, but I'm saying that we have seen crazy things happen in boxing, and at a plus 1100, what I got it for, I think that it was worth a play. All right, is plus 1100 on Bovada currently. All right, currently on my bookie, it is down. I think it is like it is plus 950. All right, at one point they were giving a plus 3,000 on Caleb Plant to win by decision. And I got a little money on that too. I was in disbelief. But I did play that. So, if somehow, some way, if Caleb Plant shocks the world, wins a clear decision, if Canelo gets screwed and Caleb Plant gets a decision, it's gonna be quite the payday for your boy. All right. All right, so those are the plays that I have made, and those are the reasons that I have played them. I'm that's why I say I'm going against Canelo in this fight now. If he wins by decision, hey, I'm still good. Let's see. Currently, let's see. They have Canelo by decision at a plus 200 on my bookie. The fight to go to distance is a plus 160. Let's see on Bovada. Um, let's see, where is it? Canelo by decision is a plus 240. The fight going to distance is a plus 175. All right. Now, with the earlier odds, I felt, and maybe I still do, even though it is a bit wider on Bovada, but I felt that playing the fight going the distance was the play to make in this fight because, hell, if Canelo gets a decision, you win. If Caleb Plant gets a decision, you win. If the fight is a draw, you win because the fight went the distance. So, so why go in on Canelo to win a decision, when the odds are so close to the fight simply going the distance? You would hit either way, even if Canelo got screwed or it was a draw, or whatever. So that's why I went in on that instead of thinking about playing Canelo by decision. I didn't even think it was worth a play. It was worth playing Caleb Plant by decision because the odds were so big. But you know, for the fight to go the distance, which I think is going to happen. That is not something that I'm seeing as a value play. I am seeing that the odds makers made a mistake, and something that I am going to capitalize on tonight. If Caleb Plant gets stopped in this fight, I think it will be his fault. All right, because like I said, Billy Joe and Kovalev both got stopped because they dipped their head right down unprotected for Canelo to hit and to ultimately stop them. All right. Um, and Caleb Plant is going to be moving around. He should move around more than any guy that he has faced since Lara. You know, if he is smart and fights the right fight. And hopefully Canelo will, be trotting around, following him around, and the fight will go the distance. All right. So really, I think that's it, guys. I've given you my plays, the things that I have looked at for tonight and why I'm playing them, my parlays, my single bets. I think there are money making opportunities tonight. You know, in these three fights. So long video. Let me know what you guys think. I am looking forward to these fights tonight. Looking forward to getting back in the winner circle. You know, let me know what you guys think. Let me know your plays. If you play some wagers, good luck to you tonight. Some good opportunities. Hope we make some money tonight. And let me know what you guys think. And I will try to check in tonight after the fights. Thanks for watching.